Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here with Jason Blaha Strength and Fitness, and today I want to chat with you guys and gals about how alcohol is killing your gains. But a quick reminder, if you guys will please click like down below and drop me a comment, I would appreciate it so much. Thank you. All right, and I'm saying this as someone who used to drink quite a bit. I've been completely sober over 6.5 years, and one of the things I noticed is I finally got my deadlift to 600 plus. And then my squats came up and stuff too. After having not been able to deadlift 600 pounds since my 20s, I managed to do it in my 40s after years of trying and not getting to 600, within six to 9 months of stopping alcohol. So just giving you guys a little bit of a perfect example. The same thing with my own training. You guys never saw me bench more than, while I was a drinker, in the 330s, and then I started benching 350. I benched 365, so on and so forth. So again, these are pause benches, legit benches with heels flat. So again, looking at some of that stuff just with strength, I saw a lot of that personally, right? I saw a lot of that personally. But let's talk about the different pathways by which alcohol actually is killing your gains. We don't even need to go into how it's killing all of your body and everything else. You guys know how I feel about alcohol. But let's set all that aside. Let's appeal to the gym bros' need for gains in the gym and look at your overall fitness. All right, right off the top of the list, it's going to impact recovery, dehydration, recovery, those things. Okay, alcohol is literally a poison. It's a reason it has the effect on the liver. I mean, you occasionally get someone, I'll mention that, and someone will say, it's not a poison. You can't say that. It's like, no, it's not hyperbole. It's not an exaggeration. Your doctor will tell you this. A biologist will tell you this. It is actually poisonous. It is a poison. All right? And we literally, that's why it damages your liver. That's why your liver has to filter it out. That's your liver's job, is to filter poisons. So this is also why when you consume too much of it, too often, you get cirrhosis of the liver, we get fatty liver, we get these other problems. Okay? It's from alcohol, right? It's because it's a poison. It's a poison. So what I want people to think about, okay, it's a poison to my cells in my body. That's also why you get drunk from it. Right? That tipsiness you get is because it's poisoning your brain cells. And therefore it makes you have euphoria, makes you tipsy. It can lower inhibitions because your brain is malfunctioning while on it. Because your brain's being poisoned. Okay. Do you think that affects all the other cells? So think about that for a minute. You know that it's a poison for your liver, damages the liver over time because your liver has to filter it. Well, liver doesn't get, a lot of it gets to other cells before the liver gets rid of all of it, right? Because it's all through the bloodstream, but the liver eventually gets rid of it. Keeps you from getting enough that you die usually. If you didn't have a liver, one drink would possibly be fatal. All right. Of course, one drink can be, but that's a totally different topic. I'm not talking about gains here. All right, so then it affects your brain. Don't you think it's affecting your muscle cells? Do you think it's affecting the other cells of your body? Well, yeah, obviously. So if it's affecting these things, is it hurting your recovery? If every cell in your body is being slightly poisoned, do you think your muscles and your body is going to recover slower from training? They're being poisoned. Well, yeah. So you have that whole systemic effect. All right, the next thing. Your liver's job is to process different stuff, poisons and stuff. So then you also have to think about possible waste products. Okay? Possible waste products that it's now having to not deal with from the training because it's dealing with the alcohol. Okay, number one. All right, as far as then the recovery on the muscle protein synthesis, it's been measured in the lab. We know that alcohol directly inhibits muscle protein synthesis. Okay, for those who don't understand what that is, when you train, it stimulates muscle protein synthesis to build new muscle tissue, right? That's how we make gains. It's also how we repair the damage from training. because there's going to be some muscle damage associated with training, right? In theory, we want it to be fairly minimal, but there's always going to be some. Okay, that protein synthesis is what repairs it and then builds new stuff. Well, alcohol blunts it. It's been found to reduce it in the lab significantly. If you're drinking alcohol, you are literally killing your gains. You're not just causing these other problems. No, I mean, it's directly at the cellular level killing your gains, literally. It's stopping the muscle protein synthesis from the training. Okay. Right? We understand this. And people are like, well, how about if I only drink at the end of the week on Friday at the weekends and then I don't train on the weekends? Yeah, but you were going to gain muscle on the weekend, right? Normally your weekends, if you're not training on the weekends, well, you're hopefully gaining some muscle on that weekend during that rest. But instead, you're dealing with the alcohol. It's still costing you muscle, right? Directly on the recovery of muscle protein synthesis, because you'd be growing from those Thursday and Friday workouts when the weekend hits still. Well, maybe not now, right? They're wasted workouts. All right. So we have that. What else? Lowers testosterone. Now this one's probably the least concerning because let's be realistic. Your normal testosterone fluctuations, not that big of a deal. Not that big of a deal. But it does lower it. Let us be clear. Right? So if your testosterone levels are being lowered, then it's going to inhibit gains further. It's going to further inhibit them. Okay? We're not even done. How about motivation? Well, alcohol's a depressant. When people say silly stuff like, well, I drink alcohol to feel better, I drink it for stress relief. Well, no, except that it's a depressant. Alcohol might give you a short-term dopamine hit, especially if you're addicted to it. It's usually, when you're drinking it for emotional support reasons, you're at that level of starting to become addicted. Like you need it after the bad day. Or you need it to feel better. We're now at least a mild level of addiction. Okay. Not that you do, it's because you're addicted to it. That's why. So it's a depressant, though. It causes depression. Like it's a central nervous system depression. That will lower motivation. Well, if you're not motivated, are you going to train as hard? No. No. Your motivation has been lowered chemically. And that can be long term. That can last a while. Okay? So if you've been drinking regularly, your motivation's going to go down. And then how about hangovers and stuff? Okay? Anybody really want to go train with a hangover? So we have the motivation, then we have that, and that's from dehydration primarily. All right, dehydration is going to affect training. It's going to affect recovery. So what have we seen so far? The direct poison on the body causing problems, affecting recovery growth, direct loss of muscle protein synthesis, lowering of testosterone, lowering of motivation, dehydration. Okay? They're all pretty massive. These are all pretty massive. Then we come to all the other problems. Think about all the social and other health problems. Cancer. Like we only have realized in the last 5 years how cancer-causing alcohol is. And people aren't aware of that. They're not understanding when they think about, oh, what causes cancer? Well, alcohol and tobacco are at the top of the list. But alcohol's way up there. It is more carcinogenic than we used to realize. Okay, well, cancer will hurt your gains. Getting in accidents will hurt your gains. Bad choices that you make due to lower inhibitions will hurt your gains. All right? You're dealing with the consequences of your various actions. That can affect your gym and your training. When we do stupid stuff, or you get violent, or just make mistakes when you drink. All right, that's going to affect your gains. And I don't care that there's a few guys who promote drinking and they've made really good gains, and they're also using tons of steroids usually. And that shouldn't be your solution either. Right? Right? It's a problem any way you look at it. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.